In level 1, you're going to be graphing different types of functions, which is a review. But one of the skills that you're going to need in pre-calc is graphing a piecewise function. When you graph a piecewise function, you're graphing different functions and for different domains of the graph. So if we look at this first part, we are graphing x squared when x is less than or equal to 2. So if you want, you can put in a dotted line. It's not really part of the graph, but we could put in a little dotted line just to remind ourselves that's where we're going to split the graph. This whole left-hand section of the graph is going to be the function x squared. My next section is going to be from 2 to 6. So I could do another dotted line at 6. And again, this isn't really part of the graph, but it might help you graph these different parts. So in this section right here, we're going to be graphing the function f of x equals 6. And then from 6 to 9 on the x-axis, here's 9, you're going to be graphing this third function, f of x equals 2/3 x plus 3. Okay, so to graph this function, you are going to start with your top one, x squared, and you need a few points to plot accurately. I definitely want to know what the value of the function is when x equals 2 because that's my endpoint. So for f of x equals x squared, I'm going to make a little table of values. And maybe I'll go from -2 to 2. I definitely want to stop at 2 because that's my last endpoint. And then I plug these numbers into x squared. -2 squared is 4, -1 squared is 1, 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, and 2 squared is 4. And I'm going to plot these points on my graph. So -2, 4 is right here. -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. And then for this last point, 2, 4, which is going to be on the endpoint of that interval, I need to decide what type of point to use. And to do that, I'm going to go back to the inequality. Since it's a less than or equal sign with the line underneath, it's going to be a closed dot. So I put a closed dot for 2, 4. And then I draw my parabola through here. It has to stop when I get to x equals 2, but in the other direction, it's going to go forever. So we get a parabola. And then now I'm ready to do my next section. So I'm going to graph f of x equals 6 between 2 and 6. F of x equals 6 is the same as the line y equals 6, which, if you remember, is a horizontal line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units up. Oops. So that would be the line y equals 6. But I'm only graphing this line between x equals 2 and x equals 6. So I go up 6 units, and at 2 it needs to be an open dot because it's x is greater than 2. Not greater than or equal. So I put an open dot at 6. Let me try that again. Graphing on this thing is not easy. Okay, and then at 6 I need a closed dot. So it's just a horizontal line with a closed dot here and open dot there. Okay, now I'm ready to graph my third part, which is f of x equals 2/3 x plus 3. And for this one, it might be helpful to graph the whole line and erase the part I don't need. So when I normally graph a line, I start with the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the point 0, 3, which I'm going to do in red, and I'm going to erase it. I'm not going to keep that line because it's not in the domain that I want to keep. I only want to keep it from 6 to 9. But just so I can graph it, I start at the y-intercept of 3, and I go up to over 3, up to over 3, and this next point is the first one I'm actually going to keep. And at 6, it's going to be an open dot because there's no line underneath the inequality. So I have an open dot here, and then I go up to over 3 again, and it's another open dot at 9. And I'm only keeping this part. I guess I should go back to black here. Black, open dot. Let me redo. Okay, open dot, connect. And then I'm going to go back and erase these red dots because I don't want to keep those. And graphing is hard on iPads, guys. Sorry. So, okay, so there's my piecewise function. And that's how you do it. Good luck.